Oh yeah. Westhoff, classic chef's knife, 10 inches. 2006 era. This thing looks like it's 20 years old too. It's scratched to heck. Look at the bolster hanging down low. And check this out. A whole millimeter behind the cutting edge. In this video, we're thinning, radius platen, reprofiling, and we're taking it to the razor zone. All right, let's grind. A cool little trick you can use if you're just getting into thinning and practicing, use some of your older belts at first. These brand new Bora 7 Grit 60s, they cut a lot of steel really fast. I had a lot of people saying, hey, try using a tool rest or a pivot arm and rest your spine on it, and you could put a really nice, clean, even shinogi line. So I got this tool rest. The machine comes with the tool rest. The problem with it's so wide, your handle and your bolster is going to get in the way. So this particular tool rest is specialized, it's custom. I can get the knife in there really tight and close from the point of the knife all the way to the bolster without issue. You see the shape of it. And man, trying to thin behind the cutting edge with the flat platen, it's so difficult. But you can see the curve of this radius. I'm grinding right as it right at the top of the radius. And it makes it a lot easier. And first couple of minutes, I'm just trying to find that perfect angle, you know? And once I get it, it's on. It's just time to cut and be consistent with the angle, and almost no pressure, very little pressure. Pressure creates heat, and heat gets you in trouble. I just take my time. I've got this amazing little rotating machine base. And what's cool about this is, say you wanna grind edge leading, boom, there you go. Now you want to grind edge trailing, boom, there you go. I had a couple guys say, hey, you know, can you flip the unit around to get the control panel in front of you for edge trailing? You can. You gotta void your warranty to do so, and I don't know about you, but I don't recommend that. Just get yourself this base. It's $40. And it's I think it's even prime, so you get it in like a day or two. And it's useful too. Use it for your Tormek, your other tools. Like, I love the thing. I'll probably get a couple more. Once you cut away a bunch of steel behind the cutting edge, you're gonna see it's gonna have a hollow grind, a little bit of a step. And if you're like me and you're newer to it, it's not gonna be a perfectly straight line. So what you can do is you can blend it all together. In fact, let me see if I can put together a quick and dirty illustration for you. Here, check this out. So again, I'm new to thinning, but I'm gonna explain it the way I understand it. At the top left, this is the knife as it comes in. It's got a lot of mass behind the cutting edge because it's been sharpened multiple times. Our goal is to thin it. So we go on to the first step, which is using the radius platen, and we get a hollow grind, but we also get a abrupt step. So then we move on to what I'm doing in the video right now, and that's blending it all together. So it's a nice, clean, smooth wedge. Does mine look as good in the third little illustration there? I don't know. I doubt it. But that's the goal. I think it's important to, for you as a sharpener, knife repair person, round the spine off. Because when you go over to buffing and, you know, more dangerous tools, having that thing rounded out, it's a lot safer. We're gonna blend up. We're gonna keep that grip progression going up as we blend the blade, the grinds on the blade. Jeez, I said that and I have no idea what I was talking about. But when you thin with grit 60, you're gonna get some deep cuts in the blade. So step up your grit progression and start making those a lot more shallow. The knife's gonna look better.
Okay, so this is the spot now. Now that my grinds are getting tighter, I can start to see inconsistencies with my earlier grinding. I don't think I can get that to show on camera. Right here, I dug in a little bit. And someone on the last video said I need to stop starting at the same spot over and over. And that comment was going through my head the entire time that I was grinding, because this was the second knife since the first knife since I heard that comment. But I didn't listen. Okay.
Well, I'll be taking your guys' comments way more serious after this mistake. It cost me a lot of time.
In fact, we're going to just try painting that in and... Yeah, see right here how it's darker? That's my valley.
Did my best to illustrate that valley under those red dots here.
Not putting much pressure on this at all. The trade-off is when you don't use pressure, it just takes longer.
That's the same thing I did when I was really getting into machine sharpening, was just go slow and work on perfection, and then speed will just happen with time. And I'm hopeful that this will be I'll get the same results here with the thinning process. And now that we've got that valley taken care of, jumping up to grit 600. In hindsight, I wish I would have spent a little extra time on grit 120 to get some of those grit 60 scratches out of there. A couple of them kind of went deep. But at the end of the day, when it comes to knife performance, I think one could argue that those deeper scratches are actually good. But I want all of it. I want performance and aesthetics.
All right, let's go ahead and jump back to profiling.
The heel and bolster was hanging super low on this blade when it came in. So we've got quite a bit of cutting we got to do to flatten everything out towards the handle.
Got a profile I like. Now we've got a flat bolster. We're going to round this out.
This is a part where you can add another 30 minutes to your workload if you're not careful with that handle. Jump back down to grit 160 and just start rounding out the bottom. Rotate it. What's that, about 90 degrees? And then just do one side, flip it over, do the other until they meet in the middle at the apex of the blade. It's actually quite fun. I like this step. We put a ton of work into this blade at this point, so definitely not going to freehand the bevel. We're going to get everything lined up perfect, and we're going to use a guided sharpening system. And we're going to put an absolute laser straight bevel on this blade. And I love using this knife jig projector system. It helps me line everything up perfect. And boom, there it is. For the first time in world history, you're seeing the custom VEVOR rail guided support system. So this is just like using a Tormek, but on a belt. The benefit, the belts run a lot faster, and you can, belts are quite cheap. So I can apex this blade a lot quicker over here than I can on the Tormek. I want to guesstimate that it would take 3 to 4 times longer to put an apex on this blade using CBN 200 versus this ceramic grit 80 belt. And just as you get that burr, turn around and jump on your Tormek. You're going to finish that bevel up. Everything's preset to size, so I don't have to do any measuring. It's quite a beautiful system. This was actually my first time using all three machines, the VEVOR, the Super Grind, and the T8. And man, was it cool to just go from one machine to another without having to adjust everything. All I have to do is adjust the handle on my knife jig. Make a wish. Oh yeah. If you want to, you got to see the before and afters of this thing. I have them in high res, up close. They're going to be at the end of this video, just here in a moment. Stick around for it. And some of you might be thinking, today's video is kind of similar to yesterday's with one big change, and I'll point that out in a minute. But the knife I did in the last video, it turned out so good. I started questioning myself, like, maybe I got lucky, right? So let's do it again with a bigger blade, more mass, and see if we can repeat those type of results. And boy, did we. We took off 3/10 off right behind the cutting edge. I'm so happy right now. Starting to transition from ordinary knife sharpener into the knife craftsman, knife repairman realm. And boy, how cool is this? I get to play with knives. I get to work with knives. Having too much fun. Our partners, before we talk about that, this guy right here, the guided rail on the Beaver. This is the only one in the entire world. You saw it here first. This is a community designed project. And if you want one, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications. More to come on that very soon. And our partners, CFM K, they are giving away a 1x30 wheel grinder combo. Really cool little machine. Someone's gonna win it on January 30th. If you wanna win, super easy. All you gotta do, comment, where in the world are you from? Your city, your state, your country, whatever you're comfortable with. Join the Sharpeners Discord, link in the description or the pinned comments below. And then finally, once you're in the Discord, shoot me, Corey B, a DM, a message, and give me your YouTube username. And we'll draw live on January 30th. All right, check out these photos. Dude, check that out. How crazy is that transformation? This is my second paid thinning job. I recommend be very selective about which customer your first paid thinning customer is. This customer, she just cares about function. She doesn't care about aesthetics. I do. But man, she's gonna be happy nonetheless. What a difference. This time it's not just the profile, it's also the geometry. This knife's gonna perform way better than it would have otherwise. Yeah, buddy.